Good afternoon, everyone. Here we are with the end of chapter 43 of where the mountain meets the moon, and the mountain has met the moon. So we are approaching the end here. Let's find out what happened and whose question does Minley ask. All right. The old man of the moon looked at her expectantly, his black eyes as unreadable as the night sky. Minley looked down into the open book on his lap. She recognized the open page as the king's borrowed line. The smoothed out folds and the holes she had made in it when she had turned it into a kite were still there. Yet now the paper was invisibly fastened in the book, with only a thin line, like a scar, showing that it had ever been removed. And the words had changed again. There was a single line of words running down the entire page. As she looked, Minley realized for the first time she could read the words, are really the word. For the line was only made of one word, written over and over again, and that word was thankfulness. Remember, we tried to guess what that word was? The word was thankfulness. And suddenly, like the light when the clouds move away from the moon, Minley knew clearly what question to ask. There's a dragon waiting at the bridge, she said. Why can he not fly? I think most of you were right. She asked the dragon's question. Chapter 44. Ma and Ba continued to wait for Minley, quietly and sadly, even though they told themselves that they trusted Minley and believed she would return. Ma spent most of her time looking out the window, lost in thought, while Ba grew older and grayer every day. The only time they found comfort was in the evenings, when Ba would tell a story to make the time pass faster. In the escape of Ba's tales, they would forget what Minley was not with them and imagine that she was there listening. One evening, when the moon filled the sky, Ma spoke. Husband, she said, tonight I would like to tell you a story. Ba was slightly surprised, but nodded. The story that Ma told. Once there was a woman who had a kind husband and a beautiful daughter. A great mountain shadowed their home, making the land that they lived on poor and their house small. But there was always enough to eat, and the water always flowed in hot months, while a fire always burned during cold ones. Yet the woman was not content. The woman begrudged the barren mountain and the meager land. Who does this sound like? And swallowed her plain rice with bitterness. She frowned at the humble cotton of their clothes and sighed in resentment at the tight rooms of the house. Day after day, the woman grumbled. When she heard stories of treasures of gold and jade, she was filled with envy. Why do we have nothing? She sulked in frustration. We have no treasures, no fortune. Why are we so poor? Her husband and daughter worked harder every day, hoping to bring wealth to their house. But the unfeeling land did not cooperate, and the house remained cramped. The clothes stayed modest, and there was only just enough rice for the three of them. The woman also grew or remained unhappy. Her displeasure grew like weeds, uncontrollable and tangling. The woman was so caught up in her dissatisfaction, she did not realize that she was planting seeds of discontent in her daughter as well. Until then, her daughter had been pleased with their life, but now she began to feel troubled. The rice that filled their bowls began to taste bland. The clothes she had liked for their colors now felt rough, and the house that she had run freely around in had become stifling. So, finally unable to grow the growing frustration, the daughter stole away in the middle of the night, vowing not to return until she could bring a fortune back to her family. And that's all I'm going to be able to read for today. All right, class. See you later.